Okay.
Okay, so Cindy demonstrated she doesn't want to be wormed with this wormer here. She throws her head up around, throws her head, uses the weapon, drives into you. Good girl. So I'm going to start with applesauce. And even before the applesauce, I'm going to start with my hand. Just being able to touch her here and rub her face without her using her head as a weapon. So when she's quiet and not pulling on me, I'll retreat. Good girl. When she digs that face into me, I'm going to correct her and turn her to the right. She's working out an abscess, so that's why she's a little tender. Good girl. Good girl. Again, I want to do this rubbing motion that I'm rubbing your face. You're okay. And I want her on a loose line. But if she uses the head against me, good girl, I'm going to correct her. Good girl. And then I'm going to open her mouth. When she does that jerking on my hand, I'm going to jerk on her face. I am not jerking on you. Don't jerk on me. Good girl. So I have nothing and she still doesn't want me to open that mouth. Good girl. I want to get her to drop her head a little bit. Good.
There we go.
That's right. Good girl. So there's no point in fighting this whole automatic reaction that she has of throwing her head into you and throwing her head up or diving to the ground. Avoid it until we can do this. Good. Good girl. Because by the time we get the wormer out, it's going to be going all over if she doesn't stop doing that. Good girl. Retreat because she was good. Good girl. That's right. Okay, now I'm going to get the applesauce and see if, because worming, usually it's always negative, the taste that they get, so that's why they don't like it. Good girl. And she kept her head there because she probably didn't see it, so I'm going to retreat. Good girl. Good girl. So I'm just going to keep it there, drop her head, retreat. Good. That's the way. That's the way. Big sigh. Good. What a good girl. Good girl. Yeah. Good girl. You're all right. So, earlier, the battery on the camera ran out, and she was a lot worse than that, so she's getting a lot better. Formerly, it took an hour to worm her, right? So, before she needs to be wormed again, we'll give her the applesauce treatment a few times so she just doesn't think of it as nasty tasting, because some of these aren't that bad. And this is all set, you said?
Is it at 1,000?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Good girl, you're okay. That's a good girl. So I'm going to correct her when she does that, and I'm not going to worm her right away. When she's quiet, I'm going to retreat again and reward her for keeping her head quiet. Good girl. You're all right. That's the way. Correct her. I might turn her to the right. I pinch the pole like here. It simulates a horse driving them like that. They understand. So she understands I outrank you. You're not allowed to push into me. You're all right. When she backs up, I'm going to back up with her because that's an evasion. When she's quiet, I'll stop. Good. So she learns she can't back up to get rid of me. Just stay with her. Good girl. Good girl. That's right.
Oop.
That's what happens when you're fighting them with that. Good girl. Good girl. Correction. Stay with her. Good girl. You're all right. If I can smell that's the real thing. When she drives that shoulder into me, I'm going to drive her out. You're not allowed to drive into me. hatter. Whenever you get rid of one thing, they come up with two other to replace it. Good girl. You're okay. You're okay. You're right. Good girl. You're all right. I'm going to stay with her, rub her to a stop, correct her when she flips her head. If my timing's off, then I won't do it. If my timing's off on the correction. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. And I'm going to follow that up with some applesauce. They're still fighting, but I think that's a lot better than she's ever done. And have some strategies.
To say the least.
Turn to the right out of my space when they move, backing up with them and correcting them for any disrespectful behavior. And you can break this down a lot more because this is my first time working with this horse to wormer. I've never worked with her before to wormer. And you can do this applesauce a few days in a row, so she really trusts that it's not going to be nasty every time. So I'm just going to keep this right here, and when she's quiet, retreat. So I'm just going to keep it, back up with her. When she's quiet, retreat with it. She's still trying to avoid it. Good. Good girl. You know, she gave me that garbage last time. Retreat. Now rub her face with it. Good. Retreat because she didn't move. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah, that's not that bad what she's doing because she's not really jerking on my hand, so I don't have to jerk on. I didn't have to jerk on her nose when she was just avoiding a little bit. You're okay. Good girl. Don't drive this shoulder into me. Move your front end. Again, if you don't correct them for that, you told them it's okay and they outrank you and they can drive you. A horse should never be able to drive a human. If they tried to drive another horse that outranked them, the other horse would drive into them, bite them, kick them. Good girl. And I'm being patient with you and fair with you. I don't expect you to do that. I'm going to get my finger in there. Can't drive into me. Move your hind quarter. Move your front end. I'm going to get my hand in here first, my finger in here, and then attempt it again. Good girl. Good girl. I know, it was crappy. That was a little late on that correction. You're okay. You're okay. I know. This is applesauce. Don't you drive that shoulder into me. Good girl. Stay with her. Good. Good. That's right. Good girl. Girl. Good. And there's applesauce. I could have ended the video when we had success and made it look really good, but I went at it again because I knew after she had the bad stuff, she wouldn't want to get wormed again. Just her following up and following through and maintaining the stuff you do with them with their head like this. Staying with her till she's quiet. Now stop doing that when she stops moving her feet and lays her head right there. And being able to put your hand on her face and rub her without her back up. without her getting fresh. So you can simulate what you're going to do when you're not going to do it, just like this, just like we did here, and drop your head, and then give her applesauce and make it a good experience. Because not all of them taste nasty. They're just, they got a bad one, or just the whole fight and getting wormed, and the whole struggle. And it's best to do it out free and not in a stall where they feel trapped, because then they want to run you over more. So it's not safe to take them in a stall to do it. Good girl! Thank you.